pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land, we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Belleau Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, My Pledge, he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
sat talking with his dad. He said the teacher pulled out a book, taught us all about the flag, about the red, white, and blue, and how each color was defined, and why we stand hand over heart, pledge allegiance every time. His dad pulled out a box with a folded flag and said, trust me, son, it means way more than that. It's more than a flag, stars and stripes. Yeah, it waves for the ones who died and gave their lives so you and I could live our own. It stands for truth, it stands for grace. These colors don't run out to this day. It carries sacrifice and scars, and every stripe and star it has. You might know the definition, but the truth is, it's more than a flag. Granddad fought in Vietnam back in '65. 352nd dropping bombs to lessen the threats he had to fight. Got sent home in '71 with one less leg and a purple heart. He used to say, I gave some, but some gave all, and that's what we're fighting for. They gave your grandma this box on the day he passed. Fired 21 shots and fought it up that flag. It's more than a flag, stars and stripes. Yeah, it waves for the ones who died and gave their lives so you and I could live our own. It stands for truth, it stands for grace. These colors don't run out to this day. Carry sacrifice and scars, and every stripe and star it has. You might know the definition, but the truth is, it's more than a flag. It's there when we fight, it's there when we fall, foreign shores and right at home. Yeah, you know it's true. That's why we bleed red, white, and blue. It's more than a flag, or stars and stripes. It waves for the ones who died and gave their lives so you and I can live our own. It stands for truth, it stands for grace. These colors don't run out to this day. Carry sacrifice and scars, and every stripe and star it has. You might know the definition, but the truth is, it's more than a flag. You might know the definition, but the truth is, it's more than a flag.
I feel proud that they appreciate it enough to mention it. I think it's great that they do. And basically my return answer is, hey, it was an honor. I tell everybody, if they ask to say thank you for your service, I'd say it was an honor, which it was. I'm very sincere about that.
My initial reaction is I graciously say, you're welcome. the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why is it taking over 40 years for this country to give the Vietnam veterans the same respect that they've given to World War II and Korean vets? It wasn't that pleasant when we came home in '69. And now America has come full circle, and they're recognizing the fact that it was service for the country. And so I just graciously say thank you.
Chokes me up. I really feel it. Sometimes I can't even answer it. Usually I try to say thank you.
I think about those times when we weren't allowed to fly on airplanes in our own country in uniform for fear of reprisal, and how the pendulum has swung so far 180 degrees out about the fact that when I was on active duty and I'd stop and get gasoline on the way home, or stop and at the grocery store where people would come up and want to shake your hand or want to hug you. They'd want to thank you for your service. And so I've seen a lot in that time frame, and I think now that people will actually walk across the street to say thank you when they see you, whether you're in your war uniform or whether you're in a dress uniform or whatever. It's a diametrically opposed situation from the standpoint of going from that negative to the positive.
It took me a while to really accept the thank you for your service time, because I was having flashbacks of my 2 previous tours and my return. But I had learned to accept, and I appreciate that now more than what I did if it hadn't been done.
I just did what you're supposed to do. If there's a war, you have to defend the United States. That's a long story made short, but that's the way I feel about it.
I spent a lot of time out in the public and with both the VFW and AMVETS, and many people come up and say, hey, thank you. At the gas station, in the store sometimes, because I always have something on that identifies me as a military guy. And it kind of takes me back sometimes. And it's later on I really think about it, and I sometimes kind of tear up, hey, thank you, and I always tell them, I say, it was a pleasure to serve.
The way that I look at thank you now is I have a greater respect for my country. I have a greater respect for the flag, for the people that served. I look at the fact that my father served in the military, so I have a whole nother appreciation for him and for what he sacrificed. So it's not just thank you to me, but thank you to those that were before me as well.
I have a Purple Heart on my automobile, and people have come and knocked on the window, and thanked me. And I think it was outstanding that they did that, and they recognized it. I mean, they took an extra bit of their own time to thank you, and it was very impressive. It made you feel wonderful.
I appreciate people thanking me for my service, but also feel like they're thanking everybody else who also served and endured a lot more than I had to.
All gave some gave all.
Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Some stood through.
Thank you.
Red, white, and blue, and some had to fall.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
And if you ever think of me,
Thank you for your service.
all your liberties and recall.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Some
Thank you.